Ready?
Okay. Good evening. This is the Board of Trustees meeting for Wabash City Schools. It's Monday, August 5th at 6 p.m. Roll call.
Everyone is present.
Having a quorum, I'll call the meeting to order. Would you all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wabash City Schools provides a relevant and rigorous education founded upon relationships to ensure each student is college and career ready for success in a global community. Welcome. Tonight we are recognizing the Wabash High School track team state qualifiers.
Well, one couldn't be here tonight. Natalie Adams, we had three who actually made the state meet. Natalie made it in high jump on the girls' side, and Mr. Denny told me today that she couldn't be here. So we still want to congratulate Natalie on making it to state. We have two young men here tonight who made it in two events each, actually. So Colson Kugler made it in the 100 and the 200, and Spencer made it in both hurdle races and actually got sixth in the 300 hurdles. First person since 08, is that right? First person since 08 to medal in the state track meet from Wabash. So both young men did a great job. Anytime you make it in one event, it's special, but for both of them to make it in two events was unbelievable. It was the first time we've been represented in 4 different events at the state track meet since the 30s. So what a great job by these guys and Coach Evans. He's sitting back there acting like he had nothing to do with it. and the great year by the track team, but especially by these two young men. And what a great job to get to the state track meet in multiple events. So congratulations to both of them.
Spencer, what's your last name?
Stout.
Okay. He didn't say so. Okay. Congratulations.
And Spencer was a senior.
Okay.
Young Mr. Kugler's only a sophomore. Well, now a junior as we start school today or this week. But so we expect big things out of him going back, right? Spencer had been there a couple times, and this was his third time there. First time in 2 events, and of course, first time medaling. So great job by Spencer to get to state 3 times.
What are you doing next year, Spencer?
I'll be going to college in Taylor.
Cool. And running track.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you think it took to get there? What did you do that made it where you were able to get there?
Just work hard at practice, listen to what Mr. Evans had to say, put in the work.
Colson?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just being intentional with everything. So even the hard workouts, but even the recovery stuff is a big part of it. So just like intentionality.
Very good.
And having a natural gift for speed. Part of it.
Being fast helps.
Colson also broke the school records in both the 100 and the 200. And so when you go into the gym now, you'll see his name up on the board in both those events. So yeah, he's been a little modest too. He had a very good year, broke both school records. So yeah.
Since I'm the public.
Great job, guys.
Congratulations. Thank you for coming. Okay. There are some revisions. Excuse me. Approve the following revisions to the board agenda. We're going to remove item 4L2 and add items 4K3 and 4, 4L 4 and 5, and 4M and 4N. I'll accept a motion to approve the revisions.
Second.
All those in favor of approving the revisions say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to comment on an agenda item? Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda. There were minutes from July 22nd, some claims, no donations, and no financials tonight. I'll accept a motion.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor of approving the consent agenda say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. The next regular scheduled board meeting will be Monday, August 19th, 2024, here at Wabash City Hall at 6:00 p.m. There are some items of communication. Old business. Approved support personnel handbook for the 2024-2025 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
This was on our last agenda, but we did not have the list of changes. Those have been included. Some of the changes are to procedures and processes we have in place. We also had yearly pay increases for several positions that were removed, as our process will be to provide pay increases based on availability each year in January for our classified staff.
On availability or ability?
Well, either, like, do we have the money to do that? Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions from the board? All those in favor of approving the support personnel handbook, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. New business. A, approve the following staff to attend the 2024 Future of Education Technology Conference. This is the premier conference around technology and education. It will be in Orlando, January 20 through 24th, 2025, and we get free registration through our district administration membership. Travel, hotel, and food will be paid through Title II funds. Those attending will be Justin Vale, Brody Cook, Amy Sivley, and a to-be-determined representative from the high school or the middle school. I'll accept a motion.
So,
Second.
Discussion?
First, we do have our representative. It will be Leah Howard from the middle school, one of the classroom teachers. This conference will allow us to learn about upcoming technology, as well as how technology can be better utilized in our classrooms. It does provide various tracks, including a track for district leaders, a track for IT leaders, building leaders, and classroom leaders. So we'll all be able to go to different types of sessions. The registration is included in our DALI membership that we approved a few board meetings ago. The remaining costs will come from Title II funds, which are specifically for professional development.
And refresh our mind, the DALI membership was paid through
Through ESSER.
ESSER. Okay. Any questions from the
Timely
board?
that it's in Orlando in January.
How convenient. All those in favor of approving the conference, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Item B, approve recommendation to award half or full-time PTO day to the following staff for working preschool kindergarten roundup. 1, Christy Clark, full-day PTO. 2, Abby Arwood, full-day PTO. 3, Heather Mickelson, full-day PTO. 4, Maria Inesta, full-day PTO. 5, Angie Satterswaite, full-day PTO. And 6, Kristen Hoppus, half-day PTO. Motion?
Second.
Discussion?
These teachers volunteered to run our preschool and kindergarten roundup, which was held on a Saturday. To compensate them for this time, we would like to give them the PTO days as listed. We have done this in the past, but I don't believe we've ever had it board approved, and we just felt like we should run this through the board. That way, if in an audit they questioned why they had an extra PTO day, we would be able to show that this was approved by the board.
Any questions from the board? All those in favor of approving the recommendation, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. C, approve recommendation to decrease a kindergarten class and add a pre-K class for the 24-25 school year due to enrollment numbers. I'll accept a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Currently, we are at 89 kindergarten students. I believe 30 or 31 are in the DLI classes. Last year, we had almost 100 in the traditional classes, so we added a kindergarten section. With the lower numbers this year, we can reduce that number of sections and still have pretty decent class sizes. The teacher that moved from pre-K to K last year will go back to a 4-year-old class, and by doing this, we are able then to take 10 of our 4-year-olds off the wait list and get them into our classrooms.
Okay, questions from the board?
last year's class of 100 was a larger than normal.
Yes.
Is 89 more in line where we traditionally have been, or is it still kind of low?
It seems kind of low to us, but last year was definitely quite a bit higher.
Okay, all those in favor of approving the recommendations, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Item D, approve the WHS course repeat policy.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
This policy outlines the rules for repeating courses and whether or not the original course is removed or replaced, or remains on the transcript. I know it's similar to what other districts have, and Mr. Blossom is here to give us a little explanation of it.
Right, the primary purpose of the policy at the beginning is for students that want to improve their grade point average. So may have, typically college-bound students, so if they receive a C in the class, for example, would like to raise their grade point average, they take it again. There's a lot of different policies out there. Post-secondary partners do different things. Some universities allow students to do that only 3 times. Others, you can do it as often as you like, but you average the 2 grades, and so that's what we're doing. We think that's fair as well. I use a good example of if you were to take an AP world history class and got a C in that class, if you wanted to raise your grade point average, you could take it again. However, you have a distinct advantage in that you have been in that AP US history class before. And so you're more likely to score higher than a student that persisted and, maybe got a B+ or something like that. So we think that that's fair. It's been recent that the Department of Education has required all grades to be on the transcript, regardless of when they're taken. We can't do a replace policy, so we have to put them in the proper semester. So it's always going to record if the student has that D. It's just not used for purposes of grade point average. We take the credit out of it there. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward, I think. So we do have credit recovery, and that raised an issue too, because the rigor in our Edmonton courses is not the same as the rigor of live courses that we have at Wabash High School. So we've had students in the past that have retaken a class via Edmonton. And that's not really fair either, because the rigor isn't there. So we tell them they have to sit for a live class if it was a live class. If it's a dual credit class, if you want it to average out, it has to be the other dual credit class. So things like that. We also made adjustments to the Edmonton scale to make the grades earned in that class more representative of what happens in the regular classroom.
Questions from the board? All those in favor of approving the policy, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Item E, approve the following resignations from team leader positions. 1, Joey Till as 7th grade team leader, and 2, Christina Martin as 8th grade team leader.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
We'd just like to thank Mr. Till and Mrs. Martin for serving as team leaders.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Item F, approve the following transfers of certified staff. 1, Natasha Whitney from math teacher at WHS to 2nd grade teacher at OJ Neighbors beginning the 24-25 school year. And 2, Kristen Hoppus from kindergarten teacher at LHC to pre-K classroom and sped teacher at LHC beginning the 24-25 school year.
So moved. Second.
Discussion?
After working the Spark program, Mrs. Whitney has requested to transfer to the open 2nd grade position, and we are happy to be able to accommodate this request. Mrs. Hoppus will move from the kindergarten to the pre-K special ed teacher at LH, and we appreciate her willingness to make this move and meet the needs of our students and families.
Does that open a math teacher position at the high school then?
It does until the next thing on the agenda.
Okay, so I would go down, right? Okay.
Temporarily.
Temporarily, okay.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Item G, approve hiring the following certified staff. Carrie Denny as WHS guidance counselor at a salary of $49,135 on a 195-day contract for the 24-25 school year. And Doug Ballinger as geometry teacher at WHS at a salary of $61,295 beginning the 24-25 school year.
So moved. Second.
Discussion?
Mrs. Denny is a retired WCS teacher and former guidance counselor at the high school. She'll fill this open guidance position for the year. She'll have a 195-day contract. This allows her a little bit of time before and after the school year starts and ends. We appreciate her willingness to come back and help us out, and it's nice to have someone in there that has experience with early college. Mr. Ballinger will take over as our geometry teacher. He comes with many years of experience. His wife is our newly hired literacy coach, so we're happy to have both of them in our district.
Questions from the board? All those in favor of approving the hirings, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Item H, approve hiring the following classified staff. Isabella Wagner as preschool paraprofessional at LHC at a rate of $11 per hour beginning the 24-25 school year, and Chloe Fogel as preschool paraprofessional at LHC at a rate of $11 per hour beginning the 24-25 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
We want to welcome Ms. Wagner and Ms. Fogel to LHC. I do believe this fills all of our para positions at LH, but I think we are still in need of a lunch assistant.
All those in favor of approving the hirings, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Approve recommendation to change the cost of adult breakfast from $2.75 to $2.85 effective August 7th, 2024 per state recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Mrs. Honeycutt was notified by the state that our adult breakfast prices needed to be increased after we had already approved the prices for, or at the last meeting. So this is just something that we're doing based on the recommendation by the state.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Item J, approve recommendation to change Megan Harrell from an hourly rate to a salary of $32,000 effective August 5th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Last year, Miss Harrell was named the assistant cafeteria manager. The plan is for her to take over for Mrs. Honeycutt as she plans to retire at the end of the school year. She is learning all the responsibilities of the cafeteria manager. She did not receive a pay increase last year, so we would like to move her to a salaried position. She is currently hourly and makes about $27,400, so this would be a pay increase of about $4,600. And this is paid from the cafeteria fund.
Last year, we had several months where the cafeteria fund was negative. Will the raises in lunches, meals, do we think that'll cover?
Yes, we think part of it was we were doing free breakfast and the cost of breakfast was pretty expensive. So adding that price in, and then raising our lunches. And I think in the last month, our account was looking much better.
So we don't see the extra $4,600 here with
No.
all the other things that we're implementing. That should take care of.
Yes, and I believe there are some positions that Melanie has decided she's not going to fill.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
That was a good question, Rob.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Item K, approve resignations from the following classified staff. 1, Terry Smith as WCS cafeteria employee effective August 1st, 2024. 2, Wendy Griffin as WCS cafeteria employee effective August 1st, 2024. 3, Jessica Strickler as part-time cafeteria employee at OJ Neighbors effective August 5th, 2024. And 4, Shane Smith as social worker at LHC effective August 5th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
We'd like to thank Mr. Smith, Miss Griffin, and Mrs. Strickler for their time and service. Also wish Mr. Smith good luck. He is going to be, I believe, a 5th and 6th grade teacher at St. B's. For the time being, Mrs. Wilson does not believe that we need to fill that position. She has a special ed teacher that she believes she can use to help provide some of those social skills services to our students. We will see how it goes throughout the year, and if she decides that, yes, she does need one, then we will look to fill that position.
Okay. Questions from the board? All those in favor of approving the resignations, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Item L, approve the following for athletics for 2024 to 2025. 1, accept the resignation of Kyle Kelsheimer as WMS cross-country assistant coach. 2, WHS cheerleading volunteer, so it's crossed off, right? Caitlin Bowles. 3, WMS cross-country assistant coach Derek Vogel. And 5, WMS football volunteer Sammy Hipskin.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
The one with Kyle resigning, that Derek was gonna be a volunteer, that's why he was scratched off, and now he'll take his position. And then certainly we want to thank Caitlin, who is one of our nurses, for helping with cheerleading, and then Sammy, who is runs the parks, for helping with football. So we appreciate those guys.
All those in favor of approving the motion, say aye.
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 Those opposed?
I abstain.
Motion passes. Item M, accept the following resignations from certified staff. 1, Mark Neville as WMS WHS choir director, effective immediately. And,
So moved.
yeah.
Second.
We'd like to thank Mr. Neville as he moves on to his next adventure. He is moving to a school district that has a quite larger music program. I think he said they have 6 music directors. So we wish him the best of luck. This posting will go up immediately with the hopes of having someone in place permanently by our next board meeting.
Questions from the board? All those in favor of accepting the resignation, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Item N, approve Emily France as a temporary adjunct teacher for WMS WHS choir at a daily rate of $252.29 for 19 days, effective August 6, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Mrs. France will fill in temporarily. She will be put on an adjunct contract. She is a certified choir teacher. This daily rate is what she would earn at her years of experience and degree level. This will allow us to post and interview for the position. We are pleased to have her, as she is not just a sub, she's a licensed in this area, and will be able to get our choir classes up and running for the year.
What's the game plan after 19 school days if we don't have someone?
Mr. Blossom believes that we can make that happen.
Okay.
So,
So you might have some
yeah.
leads. Okay.
All those in favor of approving the hire, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Items from superintendent.
This morning, we welcome back our staff to the buildings. We had time this morning to recognize and welcome our new staff members. After the district meeting, building meetings took place. Tomorrow's another teacher work day before our opening ceremonies with our students on Wednesday. We are currently at 1,370 students. We're hoping to see that number inch a little closer to 1,400. We know that last year's kindergarten class was quite a bit bigger, and this year's number is quite a bit lower. So, like I said, if we can get up to the 1,390 area, I'll feel pretty good.
We usually see after school starts.
Yes. People that didn't realize school was starting. Sometimes we get people that have moved in from out of state that they lived in a state that they didn't start until Labor Day. So we will see people trickle in the first week to week and a half.
Okay, thank you. Items from Chief Operations Officer.
Want to thank all of our custodians, got everything done and ready to go, so that today everybody was ready to get in their classrooms, and then so Wednesday all the kids will get there. Those guys did a great job and a lot of hard work. And then today is the first day of fall practice, so just want to wish good luck to all of our fall sports teams and coaches and athletes as they get started today. It's hard to believe we're off and running again, but we are.
Okay, we have no administrators here right now. Other items from visitors? Items from board members. We'll start with Jade.
I would just like to congratulate the 2 that went to state for track, and that's it.
The 3.
The 3, the 2 that were here for coming.
Okay. Jason?
Update on parks, we are getting closer to having it up and operational, the one down at, the main park on Hill Street. They're working on the turf on the 19th as well as told. Everything else should be ready to roll. It's been a long project, as Jay's husband is, she's very well aware of as well, I'm sure. But it should be lasting us for a long time once it's ready to go. So hopefully by the end of August, we'll have kids playing on it. I'm not waiting on the 19th. I'm gonna say that the end of August, hopefully we'll have kids playing on it.
Okay.
Just wish everyone a good school year.
Just welcome back, everyone. Thanks for everybody that worked over the summer to get everything ready. Want to thank Mr. Neville. He did a great job with
Yes.
our musical program, and wish him the very best in his future endeavors.
And I too want to welcome everybody, welcome the teachers back. The students don't start till Wednesday. And a little library update. We have hired a new director, Mr. John Gaskell, and we are happy to have him. He started last week. So, and the building is coming along. It should be done November 11th is the date, but I'm just going to say in November, it's going to be done. It's supposed to be done. So we're excited about that. With that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So
We're adjourned. Thank you.